Hey guys, I wanted to upload this last video before I take a break. For 7 days, I'm going to put aside the computer, the YouTube, and devote my time to the Lord. I've been given a word that He has desired me to do this, so I'm going to be obedient to Him. And I'll get back to you with a second video to this one, along with some other second videos that I'm needing to upload, but I'm going to put those off for now. I feel led to go ahead and show this one. So, today what I wanted to talk to you about was linen and wool and their chemical energy frequencies. Not so much chemical, I don't really know why I said chemical, but energy frequencies. They both carry energy frequencies. And in Deuteronomy 22 verse 11, it tells us not to put those two garments together. Well, my first question is why? Why can't you put wool and linen together? Well, the answer is simple. They both carry 5,000 units of energy frequency, and when put together, they cancel each other out. I found that very interesting. Linen also has great properties, and many people attest to its healing benefits. It is surely expensive, usually because of the fact that it's 2 to 3 times stronger than cotton. So it's a very durable fabric. It's a very durable fabric. In Ezekiel 44:17 through 18, it says, "And it shall be, whenever the priests enter the gates of the inner court, that they shall put on linen garments. No wool shall come upon them while they minister within the gates of the inner court, or within the temple. They shall have linen turbans on their heads, and linen trousers on their bodies. They shall not clothe themselves with anything that causes sweat." Isn't that pretty interesting? It also is a good moisture retention. It wicks away the moisture. I know a lot of people use that to work out in. The vegetable fibers that linen is made up of are 2 to 3 times stronger than the strength of cotton. And it's lint-free, and it gets softer the more it's washed. It can gain up to 20% moisture without feeling damp. It resists dirt and stains and is strong and durable. When they used to wrap the people in the mummy tombs, they would wrap them in linen curtains, which a lot of times when they would unearth a tomb or open the tomb, they would find that the mummy was nearly almost totally intact because of its preservation. Flaxseed is the annual of the plant family Linaceae. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, but there are over 200 varieties of flax plants that, depending on the regional conditions and climate, they bloom in clusters of 5-petaled flowers that open up at dawn and close at fall around noon when the heat sets in. Each flower blooms for only a few hours. The various colors that flax are found in are blue, violet, scarlet, and white flowers. Think about that. Blue, violet, scarlet, and white flowers. I think the Lord knew what He was doing. Researchers have also found that when one falls asleep faster and sleeper and deeper, and they wake up in a better mood after sleeping in or on linen. Linen actually helps repair the body by harmonizing with the cells. Which is interesting because until I got my new pillowcase that was linen, I was having a horrible time sleeping at night. But now it seems like I get more rest until the Lord calls me to go do His job. Also, no fabric can outperform linen in natural strength, luster, or durability. There is ancient healing secrets revealed that the Holy Scriptures instruct that this fabric is considered holy attire and part of the sanctification path. Linen is an ideal fabric not only for attire but for your table at every meal as a high-energy tablecloth and napkin. It promotes a happy energy to your guests. That's nice to know. Flax fabric is an excellent filter protecting against chemical exposure, noise, and dust. Linen clothing reduces solar gamma radiation by almost half, thereby protecting humans wearing linen. It has been found that flax fibers retrieve the radioactive soils appear to be totally resistant to radiation. Alright guys, if we have any solar flares going off, we know we better put our linen garments on unless we've got our spiritual ones on, don't we? Okay, I'm acting out. I'm sorry. I'll get back to my study. Also, linen is the strongest of the vegetable fibers, being 2 or 3 times stronger than cotton, with the added bonus of it not shrinking or creating lint like cotton does. Linen fabric is highly durable and longer lasting material. And actually, Dr. Otto Heinecke won the Nobel Peace Prize for identifying signature frequency numbers of the average human at 70 to 90 frequencies. All results with numbers less than 50 were identified as the signature frequency of chronic disease. So if your frequency levels were less than 50, they were suspecting like cancer, leukemia, diabetes, some kind of disease that's incurable. Any number less than 15 in a frequency was identified of those having been diagnosed with a life-threatening illness of such as cancer. So basically you were terminal if they suspected less than 15 in your frequencies. The atomic frequency signature of linen is that it's got a measurement of 5,000 frequencies. That's a lot, you guys, especially compared to the fact that cotton only has 40 and organic unbleached cotton measures 100. I mean, that's as pure as it's getting right there. So 100 compared to 5,000 with linen. That's crazy different. And by the way, the cotton, the organic cotton and bleached cotton are not healing materials, but they don't harm the health. So you're fine. The frequency of wool measures 5,000 also. This is why linen and wool cancel each other out. Silk fabric only measures 10 units of energy, which would fail to support health in the human body. Rayon, wood, and bamboo fiber measures at a 15 signature frequency. Plastic materials such as polyester, acrylic, spandex, lycra, viscose, and nylon measure 0. Alrighty, getting the picture here. If you want to maintain health and heal your body, it is recommended to wear wool or linen. Be aware that the biblical warning of wearing wool and linen together, which scientific studies have proven to be accurate, the energy of these two fabrics worn together collapsed the electrical field. Get it, okay? In Deuteronomy 22, verse 11, it says, "You shall not wear a garment of mixed sorts, as of wool and linen together." Listen, guys, God made our bodies. He knows what's best for it. When He tells you not to eat of a certain food, there's a reason for it. He is the design. He is the divine design maker of these bodies, these temples that we're walking around in. He knows what's best for us, and we've got the instruction manual in our possession, and it's called the Holy Bible. There's a reason for these things. It is beyond our knowledge, it's beyond our wisdom, but there is this veil, and some people are seeing through it a little clearly. I still have a little ways to go, I'm sure, but I'm just saying that there is a reason. So when we can't see through the veil, we ought to just take His word for it. Also, linen's health benefits. When wearing 100% linen, many individuals have testified that their healing was rapid, post-injury, and surgical pain was substantially reduced without the use of prescription or over-the-counter drugs when using linen bandages and wearing linen clothing. Linen underwear heightens positive emotions as well as possessing rare bacteriological properties, resistant to fungus and bacteria. Flax is found to be an effective barrier to some diseases. According to Japanese researchers, studies have shown that bedridden patients do not develop bed sores where linen bed sheets are used. Wearing linen helps to decrease some skin diseases, from common rash to chronic eczemas. Guys, think about staph and MRSA. or MRSA. I mean, these things that we could prevent, especially like if you've been breaking out a lot, try buying a linen pillowcase to sleep on, because oftentimes we use cotton and it doesn't have an antibacterial property in it, so it collects the bacteria, then we put our faces on it and our faces break out. It's a thought. Linen is highly hygroscopic, meaning it rapidly absorbs and gives up moisture, absorbing water as quickly as pond surface before giving or feeling of being wet. Linen cloth can absorb as much as 20% of its dry weight. This explains why linen cloth always feels fresh and cool. When I work out, or when I used to work out, I'll say that, I would wear nothing but linen because it would wick. And it was a little more expensive in the workout, apparel, but it always saved from having them sweat spots in them odd places that nobody wants those. Linen cloth does not accumulate static electricity. Even a small addition of flax fibers up to 10% to a cloth is enough to eliminate the static electricity effect. Linen rejects dirt and does not get a furry texture. Linen and linen-containing articles are easily laundered in hot water, may be boiled and dried in the sun. Besides, they may be hot ironed, thereby ensuring maximum sterilization. Linen provides an excellent filter protection against noise, chemical exposure, and dust. Sleeping on sheets of linen can also provide a better night's sleep, absorb moisture, and is more durable than cotton bedding. Flax thread appears to be the only natural material utilized for internal sutures in a surgical setting. In the description of the tabernacle, which formed the central point of worship for the tribes of Israel, the historic record tells us that the curtains were of fine linen. The use of linen was to have holy garments for the priests of the nation for glory and beauty. Exodus 28:2 explains that for us. On Yom Kippur, the high priest alone entered the Holy of Holies to make atonement for his house and for the people. That's in Leviticus 16. On the occasion, he wore white linen garments. Aaron, the high priest, entered the holy place. He put on a holy linen coat and girdle, and upon his head was a linen cap. This shows the unique place held by linen in the history of ancient times, and the reference accorded it is further demonstrated in the New Testament, which states that when the revelation of things to come has vouchsafed to John, the 7 angels who held in their hands the past and future of mankind were clothed in pure and white linen. And a final quotation from the same book of Revelation, Actions, informs us that the garments of those chosen for eternal life and happiness will be of fine linen. The use of the linen for priestly vestments was not confined to the ancient Israelites during the birth of the Messiah. We know that linen was a common fabric used by the people in the temple because of its purity. And in Revelations 19:8 it says, "And to her was granted that she should be arrayed in fine linen, clean and bright, for fine linen is the righteousness of saints." I hope this made sense. I absolutely loved it. Oh, wait, one more thing. I've often heard people ask why or what the significance was when Jesus had folded the napkin in the tomb after his resurrection. And in order to understand that significance of the folded napkin, you have to understand a little bit about Hebrew tradition of that day. The folded napkin had to do with the master and servant. Every Jewish boy knew this tradition. When the servant set the dinner table for the master, he made sure that it was exactly the way the master wanted it. The table was furnished perfectly, and then the servant would wait just out of sight until the master had finished eating, and the servant would not dare touch the table until his master was finished. Now, if the master was done eating, he would rise from the table, wipe his fingers, his mouth, and clean his beard, and would wad the napkin and toss it onto the table. The servant would then know to clear the table, for in those days the wadded napkin meant "I'm done." But if the master got up from the table and folded his napkin and laid it beside the plate, the servant would not dare touch the table because the folded napkin meant I'm coming back. Thanks for listening, guys.